Hey visual preachers, it's Steve Thomason, and in this video I'm going to show you how to make a visual using Adobe Spark. It's a web application. There's a free version, and yeah, so I thought, why don't I need to do this today. So it is a Saturday morning. I'm inviting you into my studio, and what I'm about to show you is I've not prepared anything. I wanted to just invite you to watch kind of over my shoulder in real time how I do this process, because I do it quite often, and I think it's pretty cool, and you can do it for free. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to dive right in. First of all, I want to show you that the text that I'm preaching on this weekend, as we follow the narrative lectionary, comes to Mark chapter 7, verses 1 through 23. And here you can see I've already prepared a cartoonist guide to Mark chapter 7. And this is the scene where the Pharisees and the scribes, they come to Jesus and his disciples, and they get all up in their face about the fact that the disciples are not following the traditions of ceremonial washing before they eat their food. And they're very offended by this. They think it's horrible. And then Jesus rips into them for the whole rest of the passage and talks about how they're hypocrites and blah, 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 all that. So this video is not about teaching the text. This video is about how to create a particular image. Because as I was thinking about this sermon, and I'm going to preach in the morning tomorrow, I wanted to have an image that just said the word traditions, and in the background it had a photograph of someone washing their hands. And I was thinking that this would be the first slide that I show as my introduction, and I'm going to talk a little bit about, have some fun talking about family traditions, and then I'm probably going to make fun of football fans and all the religious rituals that football fans have, and that's just a way to introduce the sermon, right? So I want to show you how I'm going to create that image. So I had the idea first, and whenever I'm going to create an image that requires a photograph, here's what I do. I open up a page in my browser, and I type in Spark, spark.adobe.com, enter, and it brings me here. Now I have purposefully logged out so that I want to show you what you will experience if you've never done this before. Now if you've never logged in before, you will need to create a free account. So you click Start Now, and you can come right down here and you can sign up with an email. Now trust me, they do have free accounts, okay? Now I'm going to go back. I'm going to log in with my free account. So once you've created your account, then you can, the weird thing is when you have a free account, it still says sign up with email. So you click sign up with email, but when you come to this page, you'll see it has a sign in. Already have an account? Yep, I do. Hit sign in, and then it remembers me, so there's my email address, and type in your password, which it remembers my password, and then I'll hit continue. Boom, there it is. So it's always going to offer you to try their paid version, because of course they want you to buy their services, but you don't have to. So just say no thanks, and then you'll see you've got different options. You can save your projects, and you can actually create your own brand, but that's not what we're doing. You just want to come up here and hit create a project. Now it'll give you all of these options. What I do, just to make it super simple, is I hit custom size graphic, and then it'll say select a size. So I like to come over here and just hit standard, and I will be projecting this onto a screen in our worship center, or in our sanctuary, that is a widescreen, like a 16:9 widescreen. Now, if you have the traditional 4x3 screen that you project on, you might want to choose this one that says 4x3. I'm going to choose widescreen, but you can see there's all kinds of options. Like you can make it for a phone. Yeah, it's pretty cool. So I'm going to click widescreen, choose that, and then I hit next. And then it's doing its magic. So it brings you to this blank canvas, right? And this is where your image is going to end up. And then over here, it gives you a whole bunch of templates. So if you're just wanting to start with something that catches your eye, like maybe this cat is pretty cool, you could click on that and start with that. I'm just going to start totally blank, and I'm going to come over here, and the first thing that I want to do, because I already know what I want. I just want a photograph and I want words. So the first thing I'm going to do is click add, and I want to hit photo. Now here's the power and the magic of Adobe Spark. You click right here, it gives you all of these places. Like if you already have a photo in your files that you want to use, you could click here and upload that photo. I don't. I want to find a photo that I will be guaranteed that this photo is free for me to use publicly, that it's not, I don't want to infringe copyright laws. And so that's the thing that Adobe does, is you can click find free photos. Oh, it's so cool. And so I know that I want hand washing. Boom. And I click enter. And oh, look it's got all these different options. Like, oh, that's interesting. So that's somebody washing hands. That's kind of a close-up of washing hands. And then I'm going to choose this one. I might not use this one. But here it gives you pin to background or move freely. When you pin it to the background, it will automatically lock it into kind of a grid. Let me show you that. Pin to background. It's locked in. You can move it around. Oh, that's interesting. That's a wedding one. I don't want that. But you can move it around within the frame. But I don't want to use that one. So I'm going to hit delete. Not a big fan of that. So I'm going to come over here, hit add, go back to photo, hit find free photos, and let's see. Ooh, this one catches my eye. This time I'm going to hit move freely. It'll give me more control. Oh, that one's perfect. Look at that. So how do I want to do this? I'm clicking and dragging, and you can see that it automatically snaps it into center. And you've got these little handles on the corner. You've also got, you can rotate it if you want to. You can pull it like this, and you can go beyond the boundaries of it so that you can zoom in. That's kind of cool. I might even want to go bigger than that and drag it down like that. Yeah, I'm liking that. That's really cool. And since I have this black background, I'm not going to worry too much about that. Now, I'm going to leave it there for a minute. In a minute, I'm going to make that less bold so that you can read the words. But first, I want to add my text. So I'm going to come back up here and click Add. And then I'm going to choose Text. And again, it has templates. So if you see something here that you like the look, you can just grab that template. Let's see, is anything in here catching my eye? Because what I'm looking for is the word traditions. Ooh, this is kind of bold. So if I click that once, yeah, that'll work. I'm going to pull that up here. And then if I double click it, then that's how I can change the text. So I'm going to say traditions and hit done. Traditions. Yeah, I'll leave it like that. But these colors are awful. I don't really want that. So let's see. What do I want to do? I definitely don't want orange against white. So if I come up here and click color, then I've got this whole palette, and I can just experiment and say, oh, that's actually pretty cool. Black, the gray against black. And then notice this, it says shuffle or change color. So if I shuffle, it'll just kind of switch back and forth between different ways of having those colors. If I want to change any one of those colors, like if I want that gray to be a little bit more teal, you know, I can just switch it around. So I'm going to cancel that though and leave it like it is. That's pretty cool. But now this visually, the brightness of the photograph is too much in competition with the words, so it's kind of hard to see. So you want the words to stick out, and you want the photograph to just be a subtle image, kind of a secondary image in the background. So the way you do that is you click on the image, and then you can come up here and click on filters. And there's lots of different ways that you can change it. Now, if you want to go to grayscale, that's kind of cool. Or you could go to darken, which will maintain the color, but just kind of subdue the picture. So I can hit shuffle, and it'll take me through different levels of darkening. Let's do that. That's kind of cool. And you can blur it a little bit if you want, just to make it a little bit more subtle. Like, let's make it really blurry. Don't want to do that. I don't think I need to blur it. Maybe just a tiny bit of blur. Yeah. Now, if I come back here, I think if I bring the word traditions down here, then that will be a nice combination of the word traditions and the image. So people can, my idea is that I want to tie the topic of traditions into the specifics of the washing of hands, which is the issue at hand for the text. So I think I like that. Now down here you see there is the Adobe Spark watermark. You can remove that. So if you click on it once, you get one chance to remove that. That's one of the things where if you have a free account, sometimes if you make a bunch of these, you're going to be stuck with that Adobe Spark watermark, which that's not the end of the world. But I get to remove it. But boom, it's telling me, hey, you need to upgrade. And I'm going to say, no thanks. Not this time. Now, I do have a paid account because I use this all the time. And but that's totally up to you. So now I have my image. I think it's pretty cool, traditions, and it'll be just a nice way. So I'm going to come up here, and where it says my post, I'm going to name this image traditions and hit enter. And now it's saved, so it'll always be on my record. And now that I'm comfortable with the image, I'm going to come over here and click download, and you can download it as a PNG or as a JPEG or even as a PDF. But I'm going to choose JPEG and hit start download. And this image is, so it opens up my file folders. And so I'm going to go over here to my 2020 sermons, and I have a folder for my Mark 7 sermon already lined up. I'll hit save. Maybe. Oh, there we go. All right, so now it's saved. So I'm going to get rid of my browser, and I'm going to bring over my sermons folder. And you'll see now in my Mark 7 sermons folder, I have this traditions. Now, just to take it one step further, I'm going to open up the PowerPoint that I have already been working on for my sermon. I'm going to show you how I just pop it into my PowerPoint. So here's my PowerPoint. Let me make this fit into my recording screen here. So so far, all I've done is taken my cartoonist guide to the text and saved it as my sermon, and I'll be modifying that. So I don't want this. I don't use this slide when I'm preaching. That's just for the download. So I'm going to hit create new slide. I'm going to click layout and make it a blank layout. And then up here, this is how I do it. This is the fastest way to do it. I open up my Finder. I click once on the image to select it. Then I click and drag, and I drop it right in to PowerPoint. And boom, there it is. So that will be the first slide of my sermon. Well, I hope this was helpful. Again, it's Adobe. It's spark.adobe.com, and you can go to town and make all kinds of fun visual slides for your sermons. All right, thanks for watching. Check out visualpreacher.com. Join the Facebook group and conversation, and blessings on your preaching.